Sing this legend where the border cactus bend of Norman Tedium, the world's most ordinary friend.
At Banco del Desperado, he balanced hopes all day, while Mr. Spreadsheet found new reasons just to make him pay.
Each Monday came with paperwork stacked higher than the sun. His boss declared, "You're hopeless,"
before the day begun. The tellers whispered softly,
"That poor fool won't survive."
Yet Norman kept on stamping dreams from 9 until 5.
His wife was Marge, who loved excitement more than wedding rings, while Norman's greatest passion was old Western movie things.
"I'm visiting my mother," she'd proudly always say.
Then Slim came over on his cheap Corvette, but didn't drove her that far away. Highway 85 motel beneath the buzzing light, where Slim called every room romantic for a single night.
Too cheap for Vegas, far too slick to ever pay the bill.
He'd even haggle with the devil just to save $1 still. Friday came, the office closed, the necktie hit the floor.
Like a Franco Nero desperado riding in,
He wasn't Norm anymore. Call me Clint, but only on the weekend.
Monday I'm balancing somebody else's dreams.
Friday night, I'm crossing deserts on a 4x3 TV screen. Call me Clint, but only on the weekend.
Morricone fills the room
Lee Van Cleef rides through the smoke
for 48 miraculous hours. Norman Tedium is nobody's joke.
His basement was a sacred church where VHS survived.
The finest player money bought kept every dream alive.
His faithful cat named Leone guarded every reel.
And hissed whenever villains tried another dirty deal.
Sergio loved tango more than pizza or red wine. Claimed Italy on weekdays, but Argentina after 9.
He argued with the furniture, the weather, and the moon.
A one-man opera waiting to explode by afternoon.
Then Sven arrived with pizzas underneath the desert sky.
A Viking born for basketball,
Impossibly too high.
his skin was pale as mozzarella,
Hiding from the sun.
so every single pizza route began when daylight's done.
He owned 206 shooters displayed upon the wall. Apologized to everyone whenever they would fall.
A peaceful giant dreaming
Of Almeria's dusty plain,
where every cowboy masterpiece still echoed in his veins. Call me Clint, but only on the weekend.
Monday I'm counting everybody else's gold.
Friday night, I'm riding with
The
a shotgun twice her size.
Still somehow looked like Sunday underneath the desert skies.
On Friday nights at Rosie's, the so-called saloon,
She smiled though love was out of sight.
she saved her sweetest smile.
For Norman every June,
He thanked the peanuts.
said goodnight.
One evening whispers floated through the smoke and neon glow.
Slim laughed far too loudly after drinking far too slow.
Maps covered every tabletop beneath the saloon's lamp.
Banco del Desperado
Was marked with a giant X.
Rosita ran beneath the moon. Leone raised his head. The VHS stopped spinning. The whistle filled with dread. Some legends start with heroes, some start with broken men. But nobody knew Norman would soon become a legend with a pen.
Highway 85. The desert remembered. The dust held its breath. The vultures circled. The mariachi band had absolutely no idea. Rosita crossed the burning plain. Her tiny boots outran the rain. Her shotgun bounced with every stride. The fools are coming, she cried.
Mr. Spreadsheet stamped one more file.
Please panic alphabetically with style.
Norman stared beyond the door.
The whistle sang like never before. Call me Clint, but only on the weekend.
Monday I'm counting
Everybody else's dreams. Friday night I'm riding straight through movie screens.
Call me Clint, oh, but only on the weekend.
For 48 impossible hours, Norman Tedium becomes supreme. Slim rehearsed his heist masterpiece at Highway 85 Motel.
Marge called it the perfect crime.
The map couldn't even tell.
14 pages, 13 pages, one.
Cheap coffee, broken chairs.
Even the getaway horse
Looked embarrassed to be there. Some men inherit courage, some borrow it. Norman rented his every Friday night.
Sergio guarded shelves of tapes, old VHS with fading shapes. Every Western ever made
Was labeled, filed, and replayed. He'd worn those dusty reels so thin. He knew how every crook would win.
the sun's behind them. Norm, don't wait.
They'll ride through the east gate. Sven unlocked a wooden chest in shooters to shoot the entire West.
He kissed each barrel one by one,
Then smiled, I hope I fire none.
Father Chastity raised margaritas, blessing sinners, saints and cheaters.
Leone rang the old bank bell.
The mariachis
Played as well. Call me Clint, but only on the weekend.
Monday I'm counting
Everybody else's dreams.
Friday night I'm riding
Straight through movie screens. Call me Clint,
but only on the weekend.
for 48 impossible hours where Norman Tedium becomes spaghetti supreme.
Slim burst through the bank doors grinning.
Certain he was born for winning.
Marge was spending every dime.
About 3 scenes ahead of time. Roxie to raise that mighty gun.
It weighed much more than anyone,
She staggered back, bent like grass.
but held her ground at last.
Leone crashed upon the bell.
Its echo rolled through hill and dale.
Every customer kissed the floor. The chickens looked completely bored. Norman dropped his office tie. The poncho caught the desert sky.
Mr. Spreadsheet dropped his pen.
A miracle. Amen.
Sergio found an old VHS, still wrapped in dust from years of neglect.
He smiled,
I know the scene.
frame by frame,
Slim always enters.
just the same. Dust rolled slowly through the square. Nobody moved,
Nobody dared.
the whistle rose, the shadows grew. The showdown finally came into view.
Highway 85 stood still as though the heavens prayed. The mountains watched without a word while all the daylight stayed.
The desert held its lonely breath.
The church bells spoke no name.
The vultures drew their silent rings, afraid to start the flame.
No eye would close, no soul would stir.
The world became one frame.
A whistle climbed beyond the sun and softly called his name.
Next weekend, the legend of Norman Tedium.
Some legends start with heroes, some start with broken men, but nobody knew Norman would soon become a legend among them.
To be continued. Highway 85. The desert stood still. Even the sun waited for Norman Tedium. Slim touched his holster, proud as a king. Norm pulled his poncho without saying a thing. Rosita stood firm, though the shotgun weighed more. The smallest defender guarding the door. Leone climbed softly, then rang the old bell. Its echo rode louder than thunder from hell. The customers vanished beneath every chair. The chickens looked bored, like they'd always been there. Every Western needs one last showdown. Nobody remembers who fired first, only who stood last. Call me Clint, but only on the weekend. Monday I'm counting somebody else's gold. Friday I'm riding braver than I'm told. Call me Clint, but only on the weekend. Whistles, ponchos, dust and dreams. The beige cowboy rides again. Sergio laughed as he reached for a tape.
This one's the ending, I know every escape.
He'd watched every Western till the reels turned to dust.
They'll come through the sunlight.
They must. Then rolled a crate big enough for a war. Enough guns for Texas and maybe one more. He tipped every revolver a gentleman's nod.
I'm terribly sorry.
Don't bother. Courage isn't louder than fear. It's simply the only thing left standing. Slim reached for iron, but Norman moved fast. The old VHS hero appeared at long last. The revolver flew spinning, then buried a cactus. The whole town applauded except Mr. Spreadsheet. Rosita just smiled as she lowered the gun.
Sven fired one warning shot up at the sun, then hugged his revolver with tears in his eyes.
I'm sorry. You handled that nicely. In chains, still arguing loudly whose fault were the brains. Father Chastity toasted with margarita delight
To miracles.
And Friday night, weeks drifted by like the dust on the plain. Norm balanced the ledgers from Monday again. But every Friday when sunsets turned gold, the beige cowboy returned, and the legend was told. Rosita and Norman rode into the west, Almeria waiting for well-deserved rest, where every old Western he'd loved since a boy became one more memory, one more great joy. The whistle still echoes across Highway 85. If the weekend is coming and courage arrives, look toward the sunset where ordinary men sometimes become legends again. His name was Norman Tedium, bank clerk,
Cowboy,
legend.